Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your reading, and thank you for joining me. I'm going to start by pulling a overall energy from my Animal Oracle deck, and then we'll move on to the tarot. So we'll just see where you're at today and where this reading wants to go. See what comes out. We're just off of the Capricorn full moon. Oh, okay, so you get two. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay, so Turtle Spirit. Yeah, we're just off of the Capricorn full moon, so we're in this like super watery, moony energy, which is so perfect. It's landing on the Cancer reading. I'm cutting my head off there. Okay, so we get the turtle spirit, and what does it say? Slow and steady wins the race. Okay, but for me, immediately what I'm feeling from the turtle is the mother energy. As soon as I saw the turtle fly out for Cancer, it was like, okay, there's the mother, there's the goddess energy, there's the watery energy. Right as I was talking about the full moon. So, okay, but what it comes out with is Turkey Spirit, and it says give with gratitude and grace. Turkey Spirit giving. I'm going to pull some, I'm not getting like an immediate message off of those. So I'm going to go into the tarot and see how it wants to guide us. I am noticing that it's a 61 and a 62 card. So it feels like a little bit of a progression there. Oh, that's funny. This came out on the pre-shuffle, so I wondered if it was going to come out again. So we have the Ace of Earth and the Two of Air, okay? The Two of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles. So like immediately when I saw it on the pre-shuffle, it was like, I just had this, maybe it was just an intuition, I guess, for Cancer. It's like you're starting on a very new path, and this is a solid path. It's a path that you've earned. Now, why is it coming out with the Two of Air? Okay, it's like you're solidly on this path, and yet you're kind of like in between. This is what I'm feeling from this. It's like this path is here for you. You've earned this. It's anchored and it's stabilized, but you're kind of feeling like this. You're feeling like you're in between because you're kind of, in a sense, you're in between the old and the new. But the thing is that the new is here. It's all around you, and you can feel it. You can feel the new, but you also still feel in between. So this is kind of this in between energy. I'm still not clear on these overall energies, so we're just going to keep going. Sometimes it pops right out, and like the whole message is in the first two cards. But Cancer's layered. Cancer has layers and depths, and you got to go slow and like water to understand. Okay, interesting. So we have the Call and the Eight of Swords. So the Call is judgment, but in this deck, it really does feel to me like the call, like the mission, the heavens have opened, the heavens have sounded. I mean, this to me matches this energy here, where you're in this new energy. This is a destined path that you've arrived at. It's like the divine timing, the horn has been blown, and here you are. You're steady in this. And yet it's coming out with another sword, okay? So, feeling kind of in between, feeling a bit in between this old energy. This is the boxed in energy. This is the mental concepts, just the old energy, the linear mind, the way we've been conditioned, the way we've been told, this is how it is. And, okay, so this is a very, very different energy. A very different energy. I mean, look at the light, look at the air, the airiness, look at all the room there is to move and to play. This and this is very much like it's just one color, and you have one option. You have one option, and that's the option that you've been fed throughout lifetimes as the only option, So, okay, but the thing is, you're kind of feeling, even though this is your established energy, you're feeling a bit in between this and this, okay? So I'm going to move. Oh, okay. So there was another card. There was another card that came out. This is the Four of Earth, the Four of Pentacles. So this is making sense. Yeah, this is making sense. Here's your shell. Here's your shell. This is a sea turtle. I don't know if sea turtles go in their shell, but it's a turtle. Turtles have shells, and we all know what turtles do with their shells, okay? So the Four of Earth can often be a card of like, you just need some self-time. Like you're just closing the door on everything else. You need to pull within yourself, pull within your shell, and just collect yourself. You just need to be still. You need to shut everything out. You need to come home. to yourself. I'm also noticing how like the kind of swimmers and these mothy feathers. These are your psychic antennas, okay? So Cancer, this is an earth card, but it doesn't matter because the energy of this is you need to go inside your shell. But what do you do when you go inside your shell? You receive. Your psychic antennas go out and you receive in that watery Cancerian way. I don't have any Cancer in my chart, I have a lot of everything, I kind of have a splash, but I don't have any Cancer. But I have a Cancer sun and I have Cancer friends, and it's like I have learned to understand this energy, where it's like it's like you guys just do it differently, you do it in these layers where it's like you kind of come out and then you go back in, you come out and you go back in, but and maybe that looks like a start and stop to others, or even at times to yourself, but what you're actually doing is it's like you're pulling in more information and you're integrating it, every time you go out. So maybe that's a bit of this back and forth too, this back and forth. Look how it's like going like this. Okay, you're on this new path, you go a bit out into this new path. I'm getting chills, truth chills. You go a bit out onto this new path, you're called, you hear the call, you go out into it, but then you need to come back in, in a sense. You go out and you give, because you're just this mothery, primal energy. Okay, you go out and you give freely and you flow and you just allow the spirit to move through you and flow, and you get in this gorgeous thing. And then and then you need to go the other way. You need to balance the other way. This is how you balance. You go into, I'm going to put them how I had them before. You go back into your shell and but what are you doing there? Whether you know it or not, it's like your psychic sensors are going out and you're receiving, you're osmosing, you're integrating what you experienced out here, what you experienced, and what I'm seeing. Okay, let me finish that thought. What you're experiencing here, it's like you're so in the flow. You're such a water being that when you are in the world and you are on this new path, you just flow and flow and flow, and all these things come through you, and all these experiences happen, and you're just in it, and you're giving self, and okay. So then you kind of need to come back and allow the information that you also received. You were receiving information and downloads, even if you were the one delivering them, even if you were the one they were flowing through. You take this time to integrate, okay? And so in a sense, this Eight of Air, this boxed in energy can just be, viewed a little bit differently in this reading, where, because look, she has the same kind of shape. I mean, all of these have like this up and down, these feathers and these wings, these receptacles, and all these feathers coming down here. It's almost like you're taking the higher view to collect and gather and understand, all that got shaken loose while you were on that path, allowing things to flow. And it's just kind of part of how you do it. Because you're a deep soul and you deeply integrate, and you need that time to osmose. And again, and this came up in one of the other readings too, because what I'm noticing is, as I'm doing these readings, which is new, I'm just starting to do astrological readings. I usually do collective. I mean, my channel is very new, but I'm always reading collective energies. It's just kind of how I am, but it's new for me to go specific. But what I'm noticing is that, it's a collective energy, but it's expressing itself differently through the elements, okay? And then, of course, every sign is kind of like a different octave or a different angle, a different interpretation, expression of the elements. So it's really interesting to me. So what was I going to say? So I forget what I was going to say. Oh, well, I don't know if this is it, but this is what's coming back to me. It's like the water element, the Cancer element. It's like we're all working together on this collective piece, and we're all doing it differently, and every part is needed. Like every element is needed, for that alchemy, for the alchemy of the whole. So we're all doing our parts. And so where this sort of like boxed in, sort of like at home, like, because this is a home card. This is like staying at home. This is for, oh, that's my kitty. the four is Cancer, right? It's home. So but the boxed in energy to a different person or a different sign could be something very confining, and it could be a bad thing. But for Cancer, it's important because Cancer needs to that's what I was going to say. You're the deep integrators of the collective. So it's like you're going out onto that higher timeline that we're all creating together, and you're doing what you do as you do it, okay? But then you're the ones that are then bringing it in and deeply anchoring it into the body, into the mother body. This is goddess energy. Where we come back to the what's the ultimate home is our body, is our soul, and we anchor that outer energy deep within, so that it's almost like you're allowing, you're matching it up with like your DNA. You're matching it up with the most integral part of you, so that it's landing home there as well. You're planting it on the earth. You're planting it in your body. You're planting it on the earth. You're anchoring, but what you're anchoring is sort of the the psychic realm, the hidden, the unseen, and it can even be hidden and unseen to you. Like you might not even realize fully that this is what you're doing. You might just think like, gosh, why am I always going like this and going like that? Why am I always like in between? It's like, well, that's part of how you weave, and you're weaving for all of us. So this is a very interesting reading, and again, without having much of a Cancer reference within me, it's different than when I read for other signs, because I'm like, oh, I know this, I know this energy. I do know this energy because I've spent time with these elements, and and of course I'm it's anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna move on because that's a whole other topic. I could just start rambling, but okay. So let's get another card. Okay. Yes. The King of Pentacles. So this is also sort of a very like home energy for me, where like the family, the home, the garden, taking time to like, just be in that very nurturing, still space of, again, tending to the heart, tending to the process of the processes that are involved in being on the earth, right? Like the gentle, slow processes. So by processes, I mean like, okay, you're baking the bread as an example, right? You do the flour and then you do the dough and you let it rise. It's a process. Okay, this is a process. This is what I feel very strongly in this reading today, is honoring that process. And part of that process is also, we come back to this goddess energy, it's cyclical, right? It's cyclical. So it has an up and a down. And what's funny is, like, in this reading, these cards that are usually sort of like negative cards, or cards that like you want to step out of, or representing the old, it's not like that here in this reading. It's wisdom. This is the wisdom of the goddess energy that knows that things are cyclical. There's the up, there's the down. If you go up, you got to go down. If you go out, you got to go in. And it's like you have woven into your makeup the understanding of the feminine, the goddess energy, which is cyclical, and which needs a home base. It needs a home base, and it needs an embodiment, a place to embody, which is interesting because that's also what this card is about too. The Ace of Earth, it's a very strongly embodied path. And why? How the only way things can be embodied is if we take the time to integrate, and if we take the time to do the up and the out, down, the light and the dark, the in and the out. We do both. We can only have a solid integration if we do both. And that's why you're on this path so solidly, because you do both. And you might even criticize yourself, because according to our society, you think you're on a solid path if it's solid and it's consistent, and here it is again today, and that's the masculine energy, sure, but the feminine energy, we know that's not how it goes, and Cancer knows that's not how it goes. So So anyway, I feel like maybe these are things you're pondering within yourself right now. You know, pondering the in and the out. I mean, you're definitely doing the in and the out. You're definitely being this reading is definitely showing like you're on a new path, and you're doing your calling. Perhaps the message is just one of you know, like self-appreciation, or like, you know, just kind of honoring the nature of how you do things. But let's keep going. Yeah, I'll pull another one from this deck. I talked for 15 minutes already. Wow. Yeah, Cancer. Okay, so we get the Magician, and look at this guy. It's like, again, okay, so the Magician has magic and he has manifestation power because he knows how to work with the different elements. He has everything that he needs at his disposal. You know, it's just all around him. He has it all. He has all the pieces that he needs to pull together manifestation or magic or whatever. Like in another deck, he might have all his potions around, you know. And so he just pulls from this. But I love that he's showing his chest. Like literally, he's like saying like, I have this tattooed on my body. Like what I need to create magic and to be successful is like literally just a part of me. And so that's that turtle energy again. Like, you know, you literally have everything that you need for your journey. Like it's part of your makeup. You just naturally do it. You just intuitively do it, and that's how he is. So I feel like this is just validating like you're working magic. Maybe Cancer just needed a little pep talk right now. I don't know, because that's kind of what this reading feels like a little bit, or just a reminder, or just an outside view of you, where it's like, hey, you know, like, because I know Cancer can sometimes get a little in the head. I mean, in some ways this is true, right? In some ways you can get a little bit tied up, where it's like you're trying to find some sense of grounding or some sense of order. So you try to kind of figure stuff out. You can kind of go round and round and stuff like that. But meanwhile, behind all that, you have this amazing like ocean of access, which is, you know, just which is your tattoo, which is you know, the part of you that makes it all possible. So again, yeah, maybe this is a little bit of an outside view of what you're doing and how you do things in your life, and at this time is magical, and it's different than other people, and it's different right now because this is a time where, you know, a lot of things are popping off for a lot of people, and we are all collectively, I mean, not everybody obviously, but like if you're listening to these, then we're in a similar wave, and we're part of a similar collective, so we're, you know, we're paving the way. Okay, so, you know, we are doing this new path, but again, some of us need to do that weaving. We need to do that integrating. We need to do that alchemy, that light and that dark, that in and that out, that, you know, give and flow, and then pull back and integrate. And that's what, you know, this message seems to be saying to Cancer. It's just kind of highlighting your part in this collective movement, and just kind of like that reminder of like, this is magic. This is special magic that not everybody has, and you have it. So you're playing this role, and it's needed and it's important. All right, I'm going to pull from my Wizards deck, okay, while we're talking about magic. I have a brand new kitty. She just came yesterday. And so I'm a little distracted because I'm like, well, what is she doing now? I'm going to just show her to you. Come here, little buttercup. I don't know what she got, a little stick. I think her name is Mamba. Isn't she cute? Let's just bring a witchy black cat into the Cancer reading. Okay, sorry, thank you. It just had to be done. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Okay. So we get, you get the Queen of Wands, the Ace of Air, the Ace of Wands. This is my higher timeline card. This is my spirit-led higher timeline, you know, destiny, like, you know, the path that we've been preparing for. And then you get the High Priestess. Of course you get the High Priestess. Okay, look at these cards. It's like, you know exactly what you're doing. You know exactly what you're doing. What you're doing and everything that you do is for this higher timeline, okay? And you just have this, again, this is the I always don't want to put these cards down because they're so gorgeous. They're tiny. Can I hold them all? No. This is almost like this turtle energy again. Oh, and the tattoo again, right? Okay, so here's just fleshing out the message. It's like, ooh, Cancer's getting a long reading. Well, I was rambling a little bit. So, you know, this is literally tattooed on your body. This is your energetic signature. Your energetic signature is this magnetic energy that you can just flow with. You can just flow with and you can just trust because it's just who you are. It's just who you are, as well as this, okay? You have that inner knowing, you have that embodiment, you have that, you know, kind of like what we were talking about with the King of Pentacles. You have that like embodied, process-oriented, integrated energy that creates that magnetism. It creates the magnetism that naturally is in alignment with the cycles and the cyclical nature of the goddess energy that creates the outward movement and the inner movement, okay? And so it might look and feel like this sometimes, kitty, but there's a deep wisdom to it, and it's all for the sake of this higher timeline, this how can we say it? Why can't I find my words? Higher timeline, is that enough? It's like I want to say it stronger. That fifth dimensional, that higher dimensional frequency that we're landing. It's like that's what you're weaving. You're weaving and you're alchemizing for this. So okay, I'm gonna just look on the bottom of this deck. Which deck? This one. Okay, this is the King of Swords. Okay, so this is our landing message. It's like when you get into this headspace where you just want to judge yourself and just like sit on your throne and be like, I suck, or whatever it is, whatever your negative self-talk is, where you're just like, whatever it is, okay? That's what this is indicating to me, that they're like some self-judgment. And that's what I was wondering. I'm like, is this just like a pep talk for, not just, but is this a pep talk for Cancer right now? Or are we just kind of like a pep talk slash like, you know, like a round of applause, you know, to just like kind of revel for a moment and like the magical weaving and specialness of the Cancerian energy. And it's special and important, and like the only ones that can do this certain piece for humanity in terms of anchoring this higher timeline, this higher thing that we've all been preparing for and that we're all working for, okay? So getting this card on the very last, I almost wanted to put him back because I was like, what the heck? But it's like, no, this is what I was feeling, that you know, there's just that it validates that feeling of like, yes, you know, we're applauding Cancer, we're acknowledging Cancer, because it seems like in this moment there's, you know, a bit of you that just isn't really sure, you know, that just isn't really sure what's going on, and maybe looking at yourself through a sort of negative lens. So, okay, I'm going to end the reading there, and I hope that made sense. I hope it made sense. I'm going to go back and listen to it and make sure that it made sense, but I think it did. And so thank you for for beautiful you, and for everything that you are and everything that you do. And yeah, because that's kind of what this reading was about, was just a cheerleading applause session for Cancer. So yeah, so anyway, I'll see you next time if I do, and I look forward to what future messages will be, since I'm just starting this and having a really good time. Okay, blessings to you all. Bye.